Well,
You know
welcome,
what?
everybody.
There you go. Kick it off.
Thanks for being here. You're on our team call. Looks like we have all our regular people here. So glad you're here. I'm going to turn it over to Megan real fast. She's going to do some training for us. We're going to do some announcements, and I'm going to do a little bit of training here as well at the end. And, you know, many of you know what living benefits are. Maybe you don't know so much about living benefits if you haven't been with us for a while. We want to take an opportunity to let some folks train tonight on what does it mean? How does it help you? How does it help put dollars in your pocket to sell more products? And how does it help the client? And it's a win-win-win, because if it's not a win-win-win, then it's not going to be a sale, right? Needs to be a win-win-win for everyone.
No matter what.
So without any further ado, you know, Megan, why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
Megan, I got the PowerPoint slide I can put up here.
All righty, sounds good.
Tell them how you found it, and we'll share it with everybody too. We won't necessarily go through all of it, but give them a little.
Yeah, it's a long PowerPoint, but a few key things that I just kind of wanted to go over is that we sell a product that can do some pretty incredible things for families, and it's not just the life insurance that does the incredible thing, although that's typically why people will reach out or inquire about it, is for the life insurance. But you'll learn some interesting facts inside this presentation that I think will help you provide more value when you're trying to help somebody figure out a comprehensive plan that fits their family best. And I think that this will help provide more value so that people will see that and then buy more. Rather than having multiple products, like, and we'll kind of go through this and it'll show us in a second about just how many products people can have to cover all these different things, like their life insurance, their mortgage protection, their income replacement, their cancer plans, their long-term care plans, their hospital indemnity. I mean, I'm at 7 plans right now. I mean, that would add up, right? Their disability, their accidental death insurance. I'm already at 8. And these products you can write for everybody. But there are some plans, most of our plans have what's called living benefits. And that all that means is that from the insurance company's perspective, that the client is going to be accelerating their death benefit rider. That most of the time is free to the client. And also, most of the time, you can go out there and buy individual plans that would cover this stuff on top of your life insurance, and it would cost the client the same thing to buy life insurance that has all the living benefits in there. So let's kind of scroll through these, and we'll kind of go through a few different ones. This is a video, we don't need to watch that, but this was something I found really interesting. So it's going to give this example, and I'll kind of explain this, but this was about a doctor who had bought a policy for the purpose of a tax-free retirement strategy. And if you're familiar with all the products that we have, tax-free retirement is an index universal life insurance policy. And most of the time, those premiums are anywhere from $250 a month to about $2,500 a month, sometimes more. So in this particular case, this gentleman was paying $2,000 a month for his tax-free retirement plan, his index universal life, but later got diagnosed with throat cancer. And because of that, was unable to go back to work or whatever. And when he called to cancel his index universal life insurance policy, they told him that he had that critical illness benefit rider on there, and he got paid a $730,000 check. So this is not, this is pretty wild. These plans that we have are not just death insurance. They are what they say they are. They are life insurance. They protect us while we're living as well. So let's keep scrolling. So that next page you can script. I mean, this kind of tells you the history about, we can go back. You can go back. Sorry. This kind of tells you the history about living benefits. And if you weren't aware, and this is why we always ask people, do you have the new kind or the old kind of insurance? Because it is, in fact, true that old life insurance plans did not have living benefits. They became a thing back in 1995. Yeah, 1995, and then spread throughout and really became more popular in the early 2000s. So if you find plans that are older than that, sometimes even older than 2010, you are going to find that those life insurance policies do not have living benefits.
And Megan, I was going to suggest this, that it's not only that they've only been around since, the 2000s and something, but the younger folks who benefit truly the most from this kind of a deal are the folks who have a lot of extra money. Their parents didn't know about it, so they don't even know how to tell their children. Like, there's this whole education thing that is missing in most young people's lives today about finances. And I was just like, yeah, it's a new kind, because the older people don't know about it.
In 5 years between 2010 and 2015, over $1 billion in living benefits was paid out. $1 billion. So let's keep going. These statistics are interesting.
And Megan, just FYI, we as the Alliance did not even offer any living benefits on any of their plans prior to 2014, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our older plans don't have them.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about living benefits for 2 hours. That's how much information is on them. And this PowerPoint is long. We'll send it out.
But most of the policies that I've seen out there, no, they do not have them prior to 2015.
And both of y'all are right. I mean, we didn't sell them, and typically people are either buy insurance because they've been through an experience or because they were taught that insurance is important. By who? By their parents, by their grandparents, by their aunt, their uncle, whoever raised them. Either you've been in a scenario where it's blessed you in a really, hard time, or someone has told you it's important. So, he's right in the fact that it's our job to inform people. It's our job to inform people that this is out there. So, okay. So let's look at this. So the average age of death, and this is interesting. I knew that, and if you guys don't know this, the people are living longer these days. And what's interesting is the longer you live, the longer the average death is. And I didn't really realize that, but I just thought that was interesting. I mean, it makes sense, but I never thought about it. But let's keep going. Okay. So people are afraid of a couple different things: living too long or getting sick to where they can't work to live, right? Living too long, meaning that they can run out of money. And that's a whole other product that we can help people with. But getting too sick is a thing that I think everybody thinks about, even myself. I mean, I personally just went and bought more life insurance on myself 2 days ago, hasn't gotten approved yet, because I mean, we're in a position, our career, we're in a position where if I get sick and I'm not able to work, that really affects my family and my family's income, what I can provide. So I already have a ton of insurance, but I thought to myself, what's the point? I mean, why would I not buy more to protect my family? Because I have a lot of index universal life insurance policies, which are my tax-free retirement strategy, that I don't want to have to pull from if I have a heart attack or get diagnosed with cancer, because that's my retirement. That's not my, if I get sick, strategy. So Let's keep going. Okay, so these are just ways that people die. And it's important for us to know this kind of stuff. And I know that sounds weird, like why do I need to know how people die or why they die at certain ages? Well, it's important to just to be able to educate your clients so that they understand, because maybe they've never been taught this. Maybe no one has showed them something like this before. Maybe they don't know. And then guess what ends up happening? Something critical or chronic happens in their life, and guess now it's too late. They can't get insurance, and now they have this illness that they're dealing with. So it's important to know what types of deaths people typically die from, what's the highest, right down to the bottom. And so anyways, this presentation will show you a lot of that stuff. Let's keep going. All right, I'll let y'all read through a lot of that stuff, but we can go to the next page, the how long can you last without income. I just want you to think about this for yourself too. We have to make, if we're gonna believe in this product, we gotta be able to sell it to ourselves just as much as we're gonna try to sell it to other people. And this terrifies me. 62% of bankruptcies in this country are due to medical conditions. Like, how insane is that? And a part of that is, living a healthy lifestyle as well. But if we can protect our family in both ways, why not? Yeah, this is just crazy. You're in one of three categories: good health, already had an accident, or on the verge of an accident and not aware of it. And guess what? None of us have a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen. Okay, so these are the living benefits. So I don't know if maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but that provides death benefit of any cause, including suicide, after 2 years. Yes, that is true. After a policy has been enforced for over 2 years, if someone does commit suicide, the insurance company does pay, because they consider it can't be a premeditated suicide. I guess they figure that if you got to wait 2 years after the policy's been enforced, then
You're committed.
Yeah, you were committed. You were committed to that. Okay, so the terminal illness. Let me explain what these living benefits are. Terminal is obviously terminal. If the doctor tells you that you are expected to die, and some of the plans are within 12 months, some of them are within 24 months, but you may access up to a certain percentage of your death benefit. I'm not going to be specific on numbers because every contract is set up a little bit differently, but I always tell people you have access of up to 95%, because with most carriers, that is the truth. And then on the chronic illness can be a lot of different things. It can be you losing 2 out of 6 of your ADLs, which are bathing, dressing, getting to and from a bed, taking medication on your own, all these different things. If you can't perform 2 out of 6, that's considered a chronic illness. So is something like COPD, where it's a chronic condition, chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder. That is a respiratory disease that is chronic. That's considered that. Critical illness is all your major stuff that would affect you for a period of time, but maybe not your entire lifetime, like a chronic illness. That's how I explain it to people, like heart attack, stroke, cancer, all those different things. That's all considered chronic. Critical injury, I'm sorry, that was all critical illness. Not all policies have critical injury. So all policies do have critical illness, chronic illness, and terminal illness. So it's important. Most policies, in fact, do not have critical injury. There's only one of our carriers that has it, and that is National Life Group. So let's keep scrolling. Okay, so this is where it kind of gets more specific on male and female. And y'all, this is directly from the insurance companies. So they provided the percentage of claims per each disease. So this is pretty interesting to know. I mean, a lot of women get cancer, a lot of men get cancer. That's the biggest one. So 52% of the living benefit claims are between age 41 and 50. This is interesting to me too, because when you think about it and think about your family history specifically, if somebody in your family has gotten diagnosed with cancer, I tend to think that they would be a little bit older, but it's interesting to know that half of the people that file claims with the insurance companies are between age 41 to 50. That makes me terrified and also glad that I have protection in place that covers me during that time frame. Because if I take 77% divided by the 52%, that's my percentage of if I'm going to have to file a claim on my policy if I get diagnosed with cancer. So pretty wild. And you can see here too that, you have to talk about this stuff with people because it is the reality. And I say this to people all the time, I don't have a crystal ball and neither do you. So we don't know what's going to happen, but let's talk about your family history and let's talk about your lifestyle and let's figure out if this is something that would benefit your family. So let's keep going. Term versus living benefit policies. So this example here is an example of one of our plans that does not have living benefits, which is the Mutual of Omaha Term Life Answers. It's actually one of our only term policies that does not have living benefits. You will not write this policy, and I'll tell you this because I have a personal experience. One of the term policies that I have in force on myself is a Term Life Answers product that was written on me when I was 15 or 8. I don't even remember. It was 2008. My mom wrote it.
You were a child.
Yeah. And the reason that I purchased another term policy through Foresters on myself last week and was because my Term Life Answers does not have living benefits. So if I did get sick, I can't pull from it. I would have to pull from I have two IULs, and I would have to pull from one of those because they both have it. But like I said in the beginning, that's my tax-free retirement strategy, not my life insurance and if I get sick strategy. So this is just an example of this person paying into that. So let's keep going.
Okay, and I know they get into some more deeper examples, and I want to.
They do, and we don't need to get into all the details. But let's go down to the comparison page, second to last. The second to last page. Okay, so this is just two different examples of a 30-year term plus a long-term care policy plus a $100,000 critical illness policy. All three of those individual policies do not build cash value. Okay. And in this particular example, this guy had the Term Life Answers product with Mutual of Omaha, which had no living benefits. So 500,000, 30 years plus the long-term care policy, which by the way, doesn't pay out to your family if you don't use it. That's important. Most of the long-term care policies do not, and they're expensive. And then you also have the $100,000 critical illness. Over the 30-year period, that person paid in $164,000 and had no accumulation, compared to the living benefits side, where he had all the living benefits in there, plus, because it's through an IUL in this example, it's a tax-free retirement program. That's how this one is particularly set up, but you can have a term and an IUL. But you can see that this one's more like buying a home. Okay, it does build cash. It pays out a death benefit in the case of a death, and it also pays if you get chronically, critically, or terminally ill. Look at this. If you get chronically ill, pays $3,500 a month for 111 months. Y'all, on a long-term care policy, the max, and I mean the max that it'll pay is a 3-year period in most long-term care policies. The critical illness, diagnosed with a heart attack, stroke, cancer, kidney disease, liver disease, anything major like that, a $391,000 lump sum payment. Pretty incredible. And then over that, this example was based off of a 45-year-old male. So paid into it for 30 years. And it gives you what the cash accumulation would be at age 75. This example was based off a 45-year-old male. Okay. And the next one is just goes into more detail about the comparisons of term plus critical plus long-term care, or just doing an IUL and a term on the side or whatever. You got to believe in what you're selling. Like I said at the beginning, I've got 2 IULs in myself. I've got 2 terms now and 2 accidentals. Because I'm just trying to make sure that no matter what happens to me, that I'm going to be able to still have some sort of income on top of, you know, residuals and hiring people and training them and things like that. We've got a lot of opportunity, and we have a lot to teach other people and educate them on what we have available and how other people can benefit from it. Because when you explain it in that way, we're not selling anybody anything. I mean, this is what every American should have to protect their family. Now, the size of it is different for everybody. This is not a one size fits all deal. It never has been. We serve families, and families are individual. We do have to take time to assess everybody's situation. So I don't know. I saw this today while I was out on appointments. I had a little bit of a break and I was getting gas actually. And I was looking at the Alliance Facebook, and I ran into, there was someone asking about long-term care. And I started looking through the comments, and I saw that Alex Abian had posted this in one of the comment threads. And I was like, this is great. So I learned some stuff from it. So I thought, hey, why don't we share it and hopefully teach somebody else. So please take that into this week and go educate somebody that you have never educated before on how living benefits can help them. And hopefully we never have to use them, but the client would have the option to if they needed it. So.
Awesome. I just posted that on the AG team channel on Slack. If you don't know what that is, you need to know, because you're on the AG team, and that's where you can find it. I know, Michelle, you had a few words to thank you, Megan. That was awesome. Very passionate and educated and thorough. I learned some stuff. I know, Michelle, you got a few things you wanted to throw out today.
Wow, she killed it. She killed it on living benefits. And I just, to just reiterate what she said, we all know people. I have had clients who have had critical illnesses and have contemplated using their living benefits. I have had friends who have critical illnesses who are going through stuff. So, and just today, I mean, Megan pointed it out to me. She goes to the dentist, and our dental hygienist, who's been cleaning our teeth for
20 years.
And I saw her at the end of December. We found out she just died in January. She had gotten pancreatic cancer, and she found out in November, and she was gone in January. So, I mean, she was probably in her early 60s, and, here today, gone tomorrow. 20 years she's been cleaning our teeth, so it was quite a blow. And anyway, I just can't even begin to tell you how much these living benefits do really help people. So please do what she said. Just go educate somebody. I mean, I was going to talk a little about motivation today, and what, how do you motivate yourself daily, and just talking a little bit about that. I can talk about it today for a couple of minutes. I won't take long, but you think about it, we're all human. We all get up, and some days we just don't feel like doing what we need to do, right? But you think about, how do you motivate yourself? And we all know that it's all about your perspective. It's all about what is the framework that, what is the vision and the lens that you see through every day? And it's really an inside thing. Motivation is really an inside thing. I can sit here and try to motivate you and inspire you, but reading books has really helped me. Trying to get out of my, getting out of my comfort zone, reading books like The Magic of Thinking Big really helped, and for you, you can read something that will help you increase your vision, increase your dream. But what we know is that, sometimes we can think about being in this, maybe a job that you can visualize yourself in 30 years from now that you hate, and being controlled by somebody that you just don't like. And a lot of times that is the thing that pushes you out of your comfort zone. And when you see other people doing it, you believe that you can do it too. So I just want to encourage you that visualization helps. Getting up every day and just doing a little bit and reaching some small goals every week that you hold yourself accountable to really helps. And then, sometimes just maybe it's not about what you want, but maybe it's about helping someone that's close to you, whether it's a child that you have that you now have to be responsible for, a husband, a family member, maybe someone who's sick in your family and you feel more responsible to help. That will, most people will do more things for other people and people they care about than maybe themselves, right? We talk about how the mother, when her daughter is under a car, she can do superhuman things and lift the car and save her child. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that. And another thing that compels us to work, and this article I was reading talks about fear, the fear of maybe it's just not being able to pay your bills. Maybe it's the fear of being homeless. Maybe it's the fear of not owning a home one day, or renting the rest of your life. Or maybe it's the fear of getting to 60 and just being able just to have Social Security, or 65 and just have Social Security. Maybe it's that fear. Maybe it's that fear of not knowing, well, is Social Security even going to be here? And, it's funny because sometimes we'll get up and go to a job that we hate every day for years just to pay the bills, not realizing that if we just did that same effort consistently in a business that offered us unlimited income, you'd be amazed at what you can build by just doing that. So I just want to encourage you that most people don't make it 6 months in a business by themselves, much less a year, much less 5 years. You guys have made it to where you are today. And so I just want to applaud you and commend you for that. And I want to just encourage you to keep going, because it's the path. It's not of least resistance, but it's the path of most, the results can be huge. The results can be huge. So with that, I'm going to close this call up and turn it back over to you, Mike. I know we have some announcements.
Well, just real simple. We got sales meeting happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. And again, all this information can be found on Slack, either on the 411 channel or on the AG team channel. So we've got that coming up. We really want to applaud everybody who has gone up and signed up for the boot camp that's happening. It's a nationwide boot camp, online and in person. I will tell you, you only have to sign up once. We've had a few people be really energetic on every message we sent out. We're signing up. So we tried a number of different ways just to reach out to everybody. So once you get to sign up, you should get an email with some information about it. If you don't see it, just check your junk mail. Standard operating procedure. Other than that, get your numbers in tonight. I've gotten some great numbers already from a few people. So I'm fired up and excited about it. I can't wait to put them on the spreadsheet and we make some things happen. But that's it for tonight. Anything else, Michelle?
Thanks for being here. Hopefully you learned some things. Thank you, Megan, again. And let's use these living benefits and let's help some people.
See y'all tomorrow morning.
Bye-bye.